is still there. I'm sure it has not been packed up. Go back there, rehabilitate it, make it livable, and let those who have contributions to make come there. At some point, people, they were churning out carpenters, other artisans from there. So I think it's a good place where people can go and get a means of livelihood. It's not so much about dishing out the 10 naira every day that has turned some people into perpetual beggars, because that's what some people want to remain, even when they have the opportunity of changing that kind of lifestyle. You can imagine that.
All right, Dr. Hang on. I hold your thoughts. We have a caller who is calling us from Lagos. Okewo. Okewo, thanks so much for joining us on Journalist Hangouts. Please, the ball is in your court.
Hello.
Right, Okewo, we can hear you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Okewo. Go ahead, proceed.
Hello, good evening. Yes, well done. I have to thank you for giving me the opportunity to contribute to your program. I hope you are hearing me.
Yes, you're
Hello, good evening.
far away. Could you speak up so we can hear you?
Hello.
Clearly?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, now concerning this, concerning making law for the banning of begging on the Lagos streets. This thing is not new. The former governor of Kano State has banned begging in Kano. The former governor of Kaduna State too has banned begging in Kaduna. Even Okada riding, they banned them. But we have a big challenge in Lagos. We don't have a government. Because we don't have a government. We have a governor that is a weakling. Okada riders are back.
Well, you'll be going out of you'll be making false claims when you say we don't have government. We have government, but you already said that it's been done in southern. But I still saw a video. I'm not exactly sure what particular state, but from the north where we saw some Almajirai who was standing close to a man who was eating outside. They were just waiting for the man to finish the food, and the next thing is they rushed. At that food. This is something that, we just have to keep talking about it and see how, we can also help the government in resolving some of this menace on our streets. Well, we need to move on to other issues. The introduction of the bimodal voter accreditation system marks a significant steps towards achieving credible elections in Nigeria. As such, the Independent National Electoral Commission has allayed the fear of some stakeholders in Bayelsa State that the beavers for Saturday's off-season governorship election can be faked by some people to rig the process. The chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, represented by the National Commissioner in charge of Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, and River States, May Agbamuche Umbo, said the beavers' machines are customized and cannot be manipulated. Well, one question one will be asking is, we've been using these beavers. This is not the first time we're prosecuting deploying this machine for our electoral processes. But do you think these beavers really can be faked?
This is Nigeria. Let's be realistic. There's nothing impossible. Nothing impossible. It's not even about faking the beavers. It's about using the beavers, to transmit results. Because last election, it's still fresh, in our memory, just like yesterday. It's about deploying the beavers and use it according to, use it accordingly the way it's supposed to be used. Faking for INEC representative of INEC chairman to come and say, reassure voters that it cannot be fake, it cannot be faked. That's the representative of INEC chairman. That the beavers cannot be fake. Nobody can fake it. So if you're assuring them, please follow it up. Because when people speak at times, there's something backing it. They may have seen it being faked. There is nothing beyond Nigerian politicians. They can do anything. And don't allow politicians drive the process. Don't allow the politicians control the narrative. You are INEC. This is an opportunity for you to correct the mistake we had before. Nigerians, before the last election came out, that voter party died. People came out to express the voting right. A lot of people were not interested years back in voting. But last election gingered a lot of people out because the indicators were clear, that everything was going to be all right. And then we have this mistake. People make mistakes. Let's admit that, and we've passed that. Another election is
I'm
coming.
still exactly not sure about these mistakes you're talking about, because these bimodal voter accreditation system are being configured for the polling units, and then you can't use them in different polling units. So exactly what are some of the issues for you in these elections? That
I was at an election. I was in the last election throughout presidential and governorship election. I monitored it. So I know the beavers could be manipulated. People are using it to send pictures which shouldn't be. Other pictures that are not related to INEC. You're sending personal pictures. That's what I'm trying to say. It could be manipulated. At times it was not used. We know. Don't let us go into issues that happen, because even let's not go there. A lot happened in that election, and I said it has passed. Let's use this re-election to correct that mistake. Ask anybody. There was a mistake. There was an error in the last election. We can correct it now. So it's not for INEC to start reassuring Nigeria. Do the right thing. People will see.
But
action speaks.
But they need to also reassure Nigerians.
There's nothing wrong with beavers. It's been configured according to her. So, but if there are issues, stay on it and then make sure the politicians don't control it. That's just my take.
Dr. What are the issues you're watching, you're reading for these, coming election vis-a-vis that of INEC's position that the beavers cannot be faked, and then we've used it in previous elections, and then this election, nothing can be wrong with it?
Well, I think the first thing for me is for politicians to understand that the beavers is not for counting votes, is not for transmitting the results, it's simply for accreditation. We saw some of it happen, even to top politicians in the last election.
Through IREV, we can transmit results. Through the IREV.
So when you say transmitting, are you trying to say it is rather used to upload these results?
No. It is just for accreditation. Simple. That's the first stage. Right. It's just for accreditation. If you ask me, the issue we should be talking about with this accreditation or transmission we will be having the network to do the job. Because this is based on telecoms usage. Yeah. It's something that helps you to just say, okay, this man, you've been accredited here, your information should be on this. Then, okay, let's see. Okay, it's there. You confirm it. And because over time, INEC has said there won't be manual accreditation.
That's right.
Except in very extreme cases. And that is what this is all about. Politicians saying, yes, it can be faked and all the rest. Except they have gone into the system of INEC.
Don't underestimate it.
To go and steal the software used in that configuration. That's the only thing that can go wrong. If that has not happened, if it's about somebody bringing what I'll call the gadget itself that is not configured for that purpose or for that, it won't work. It's polling unit specific. So what you can have is for it not to even come up at all because there is network issue. And if you look at it during the last election, those things were resolved over time. For instance, I think it was Nyesom Wike who showed up. He couldn't get accredited. He went back, he came back, he went back. It was the third time that he was accredited, which is what we are praying won't happen now, especially with the rains coming down. We know what happens in Nigeria once it starts raining. Telecoms begin to fail. Today, getting on the net was a problem for a lot of people, all the networks across. So that's the one we should be looking at. And the good news, this is an off-cycle election. You can have only 3 states. You can have as many of them as possible. It's just a matter of, okay, this is the code for this center. You put it in and the thing brings up all the data you need. So that's the only area where I have my fear. But for people, somebody will just wake up and say, I have the software, I can manipulate it. I think it's a long way away.
You know why I'm saying it? Because even they hack into bank system.
No doubt.
So that's why INEC. That's why I'm urging INEC to make sure that they have a watertight security firewall on their system, because Nigerians, we know when it comes to election, a lot can happen.
I agree with you. A lot can happen, but I think at this,
I want to believe them until the election result comes.
But if not Beavers, is there any other system that you think INEC could have?
Beavers is okay. Let's build on it. The mistake, when you have new technology, there are mistakes because it's a learning process.
Yeah.
So as you move on every day, you progress on it. Just like your phone, there are certain things you don't know, but each day you use it, you discover those. You can work around it. I believe with our sincerity, if we're sincere to get these things right, what's the Beavers for me? It's okay.
Well, the success or failure of these off-season elections in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa states, really will further shape the opinions of people as regards the Independent National Electoral Commission. Let's move on to other issues which we have here, which is the Ondo State saga, where it appears that there is an end in sight regarding the impeachment saga rocking the Ondo State, southwest Nigeria. The embattled Deputy Governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has withdrawn the suit seeking to restrain the Chief Judge of the state from setting up a panel to investigate allegations leveled against him by the State House of Assembly. Aiyedatiwa filed a notice of discontinuation of the case at the State High Court in Akure. Hence, the Judge Justice Akinton Osadebe struck out the suit. Well, just exactly the way we started, it appeared there is an end in sight. Do you actually see an end in sight to this saga?
Well, the governor is still insisting that he's not the one that his deputy offended, that he should go and sort himself out with the House of Assembly. If the House of Assembly will say, okay, now you have withdrawn this suit, let it be over with, it will be fine. But the House of Assembly is still insisting that the very letters of that impeachment must be addressed. And that is not, for me, an end in sight. It's like opening the whole thing again, even after the intervention of the national leadership of the All Progressives Congress, which I don't think is good for anybody. One of the things I've seen across the 3 states where we're having this off-cycle election has been the ability of the 3 incumbents to see through past discordant tunes where it has landed those who are in office. What do I mean by that? When you go to states where you've had this kind of face-off between the governor and the deputy, in most cases, it ended not well for both the governor and the deputy and their party. Look at it all over. Is it in Edo you want to mention? We have quite a number of them. So the best thing, like I said, like the people in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa have done, is to live in peace with their deputies. These people, you may think that they do not have, they are just spare tires. They don't have any contributions they are making to your government. But don't forget that you did not just go to pick them from somewhere. It was because they had their supporters within your party and they had something to deliver.
Calculations, yeah.
That was why you picked them. So if you now say to your deputy, I'm saying you cannot run, without being able to persuade him on why he cannot, then there's a problem. Look at Kogi, for instance. It's not the deputy governor who is on the ballots for the APC. It's somebody else, but the deputy governor is campaigning for him. Look at Imo. The man who is deputy governor now is not even his running mate. He's seeking a re-election. That's Opus Odima. How did he do it? He was able to convince him that we need somebody else in order to be politically correct. Look at Bayelsa. That man he has rallied together all people who left PDP or became despondent and adopted the Sidon look. Yes, rallied them around, and the party is stronger. So when people fail to learn, I always wonder. It's good. The governor can have his way in Ondo State. He can win the election, but it won't get the party as far as it should have gone with the support of the deputy governor.
All right, we'll continue with our conversation and pick it from where we left off. Do stay with us here on Journalist Hangout. We're talking about issues, especially the Ondo governor deputy row. We'll take a break and be back. Do stay with us.
Politics is defined as getting what, where, when, and how. But in the mix, many things come to play to shape the political fortune of any country.
Honorable Minister, the public.
From the political actors to the electorate, campaign to voting, from debates to policy decisions, big events happen to engage us in constant conversation.
That's what we're looking for. Not some people who are talking about ethnicity. No.
Who is on your mind?
Don't worry.
Join me every day on Politics Tonight, where we dissect issues that shape our political destiny. Politics Tonight, weekdays on TVC News.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
There is always more to a story than the scribbling headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
I've also supported them. Let us reduce, our pressure on foreign currency so that indeed our kids, our youth, our young children, our young graduates can have a means of employment. Thank you very much for listening.
People's governor, highly educated, the chartered accountant, Ododo Ahmed Usman has learned from the best. Bello is the man, Ododo is the man. Only going forward, Ododo is the man. Tested and trusted, not the man, Ododo not the man. Full and faithful, Ahmed Usman, Ododo not the man. For this governor, vote Ododo Ahmed Usman. Vote APC.
Our planet, our home, threatened by man's activities with fears of mass extinction on the rise. On Green Angle, we examine the issues that affect our environment, seek solutions to put us on track.
You're watching Journalist Hangout, and I've been speaking with Dr. Oladipo Anthony Mwaje. We're actually talking about the Ondo State, the issue of impeachment rocking the Ondo State, southwest Nigeria, as regards the Deputy Governor, Lokai Datuwa, who has withdrawn the suit seeking to restrain the Chief Judge of the state from setting up a panel to investigate allegations leveled against him. Well, let me pick up with you, Tony. Well, the All Progressives Congress, the national leaders and all of the chieftains of the party had weighed into this allegation. I mean, into these issues, trying to resolve all of these issues before we now saw that it had been withdrawn, or it was withdrawn, from the court. But do you feel this will settle the old hulabaloo, as regarding this?
Well, the governor has insisted he has to go, and that's why I have a problem. I mean, the governor is on seat at the moment. This is the second deputy governor to be impeached. So 2 so far. So if he goes 2, so what's the assurance that the third one will stay? I mean, you should learn to accommodate certain things. The fact he may have made some mistake while you're away, though something like that happened, at the end of the day, Obaseki and Philip Shuaibu resolved that, because it's for the people of the state, not just the two of you. You are there. You are privileged to be the governor and the deputy governor. Anybody could have been the governor.
Yeah.
So when you're there, just use it judiciously. You're not, sound health-wise right now. And we pray you get better. But all these fights between the two of them will not allow the state to progress in any way. And then looking at this issue of deputy governors and governors, it's been an age-long problem. And we seem so, we kind of overlook it. It's not today. The governor is going, he doesn't want the deputy governor to succeed him. And you know why? Because after the party primaries, party leaders imposed most of these deputy governors on them. So they are not like friends in any way. And that one has ambition. Of course, I have no problem because everybody's, you must have an ambition. It's not a crime, And it keeps happening all the time. He doesn't want you to succeed him. He goes outside, but you're the deputy governor. He knows almost everything. Why can't you allow him to succeed you? You go in, then you look for maybe somebody, a special advisor or commissioner. It's hurting. It hurts. So when these deputy governors come, they're equally on the edge because anything can happen. That is where I think Nigeria need to sit down. The National Assembly need to look at the Constitution. Let's confer some rights and legitimacy to this seat. You cannot be a spectator for, at times, some commissions are even more stronger, powerful than the deputy governor. You must confer some legitimacy on that seat. Why can't we have the deputy governorship candidate or aspirant contest primaries just like the governor? So they big kind of respect. Look at what happened in Edo. The governor said, you won't be here. I'm taking you out of the state house. Just like that, it happened. If you are the deputy, how would you feel? That humiliation is something else. So we can't continue to run, and after this, we move on.
But when we look at the issues between governors and their deputies, it's usually between male and male. We didn't hear any row during, Governor Wike's his government. The woman. In fact, not everyone even knew about.
That's why some of them prefer.
If you go to Ogun State, we had a deputy governor that was also retired.
Why is that prefer to? But definitely,
no,
even if a woman moves, the governor will make the same move. The governor will still make that same move. I don't think it has to do with gender, whatever. It's just the way we roll politically. And I think it's wrong. It's something we need to look into. But it happens since the dawn of this democracy. I remember in a Bayelsa state, with the speaker, taking over from Alamie Sega and all that, the fight that went through it. It keeps reoccurring. I will sit down and talk about it again tomorrow. What is the way out? How can we solve it? So that those deputy governors can have some. When you say you're the deputy governor of a state, you must have some powers around it. Not that one the governor gave you, because that governor can make you redundant for 8 years, and you're just there sitting reading newspapers. It has to stop.
Right. So when we have two elephants fighting, the grass usually suffer. Yeah. The reason why both of them were elected there or are elected there is because they want the state to progress. They want the state to move forward and then administer the state for the benefit of the entire residents of Ondo State. Do you not feel that this is affecting the crux of their being in office in the first place?
Certainly, it will. It may look like the governor is the all-in-law, but there is no way it will not, because even if it is off the scene, there are people who will be rooting for the deputy governor. There are people who will feel, okay, we can put some fire in the whole process.
And we are actually seeing the fire.
Yeah, we are seeing it. Right. So, in the last few general elections we've had in this country, you will see that there is always something INEC keeps saying. Most of the cases that they have to contend with on which they spend money come from intra-party crisis, where the parties don't allow internal democracy
to thrive. Yeah.
Your deputy says, I want to run. So you have somebody in mind. Let the two of them get in there. You should know what to do as the person on seat to ensure that your candidate wins.
You just allow them to run.
Just allow the man to run. We've seen deputy governors who have run for primaries and who lost. We had a sitting vice president who ran in the last primaries of the APC. He lost. So it's for you to allow a free and fair contest. Don't muzzle anybody. If Lucky Dachiwa says, I want to run, and you prefer somebody else, allow them to run. Go and do your homework. There is a way you do those things. You know, the fear now is that this idea of not having the kind of primaries they want is making the governors feel threatened. Because if it was in the past where you had special advisors, commissioners, all of them being delegates, the governors will say, okay, already, having appointed 360 special advisors, I'm going to overrun the place.
Sure.
But now, you elect from the ward.
Right.
Meaning that you have the true representatives of the people coming to decide who they want to emerge as the candidate.
We need to carry on.
The governors need to watch it and live in harmony with their deputies.
Edo, Ondo, they have something in common, and it's just in the homophones. They sound alike. So I guess maybe Ondo should go to Edo and ask about how they resolve and bring in reverend fathers and all of that.
Boundaries. Don't forget that.
Exactly, to resolve the issues there. All right, the atmosphere surrounding the off-season governorship elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states is getting frenzy, and the stakeholders concerned are putting finishing touches to the preparations. Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetokun has deployed 3 Deputy Inspectors General of Police, that's the DIGs, to the 3 states ahead of the November the 11th governorship polls. The DIG in charge of intelligence, Habu Sani, has been deployed to Kogi. The DIG in charge of information and communication technology, Daniel Sokari Pedro, has been deployed to Bayelsa, while the DIG in charge of training and development, Frank Mba, has been deployed to oversee the election in Imo State. The IGP also ordered restriction of vehicular movement in the affected states, effective from midnight to 6 p.m. on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it has deployed 9 additional resident electoral commissioners to Imo State for the poll on Saturday. Quite interesting, developments we're seeing. Well, this is normal. This is something we've seen, elections out. But Saturday is here. So how ready do you feel these off-cycle elections, the states, Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa, how ready do you think they are?
They should be ready. The government have voted money for it. And that's their job. They should be ready. That's what, they are paid to do. They should be ready. And when they tell Nigerians we are ready, we should go to bed. And,
and wake up on election day.
Yeah, and wake up, and we don't need to even just watch the TV and the election goes smoothly. That is how it should be. With the status of those police officers, DIGs, we shouldn't bother, in terms of security. They're on the ground. You have the DIG, Deputy Inspector General of Police. You have Assistant Inspector General of Police, Commissioners of Police.
CPs. 15 of them.
Commission of, in this just three states. We shouldn't be concerned on a good day, but we know what election in Nigeria is. We know what election, that's just why this is emphasized here. And I hope that, because it's a new police management, right, that they should not be carried away. They should not, I said it before, they should not allow politicians direct the election process. You are there to ensure peace, security at their election, and make sure that nobody snatches the ballot box. Anybody who misbehaves should be arrested and made to pay for such crimes. It happens in the past that after election, you hear people coming to disrupt the election, and we don't hear anything about being prosecuted, and the matter dies. So when election like this come up again, you see a reputation because there are no consequences for such action. If there are consequences, and you hear that a DIG is in town, not even 1, 2, 3, 4, and then assistant inspector general, commissioners, and assistant commissioners, you should panic and do the right thing. And this is not just police; this military is there too.
Right.
So if we punish bad behavior, we have processes that punishes bad behavior, especially during election. We don't need this amount of policemen to monitor elections, because you know very well that once you misbehave, the system will catch up with you and be dealt with it.
Right. So, but then one thing is we are supposed to see this to instill confidence, in the voters who are expected to turn out. But do you feel that this militarization of election process will instill that confidence, or they will be, scared to even go out? That if we have these, this many security agents out there, it means maybe there's trouble.
Well, there has always been trouble, especially in Imo.
Mm-hmm. Kogi as well.
I mean, especially more in Imo, because what you've had in Kogi, apart from the occasional attacks by
the last governor, I'm sure he's referring to last governorship election.
Apart from the hoodlums and all the rest, has been supporters of political parties attacking one another, so which can be contained. But in Imo, you have hoodlums who are still bent on doing what they want to do.
Agitators.
You have the indigenous people of Biafra still saying, don't come out. And in Bayelsa, you have cultists who have gone on rampage in the last few weeks. So it's not ideal to have this level of security presence, because even that alone is enough to scare some people. A lot of people don't like to see soldiers walking around. But
that's what it is.
But I think with this deployment, which, if you look at it, all the DIGs have been sent to the zones that they are representing. Mumbai is from the southeast, so you should know the terrain. The man from the south is also in Bayelsa. Right. And the one from the north, from the northeast is back home in Kogi. So we should be able to get some level of firm policing and security generally. And because it's an off-cycle, very few people, you can see the police said, we've deployed 40,000 to Kogi. In the general election, it can be done.
You should get this
right. It can't. Right. So it's something I believe that they are going to get right.
All right, we need to take a break and make some money. Just stay with us here on Journalist Hangout. We'll take a break and be back in a jiffy. Just stay with us.
Something big, they come Kogi State. Time don't reach to vote. Ododo Ahmed Usman, OAU, now our man. APC, now the party.
He's the man, Ododo is the man. Moving Kogi forward, Ododo is the man.
For Kogi's governor,
Nadima, Ododo Nadima. Ododo Ahmed Usman, Ododo Nadima.
For Kogi's governor, this society, the man will get integrity. Fearless and the capable. Now the people's governor. Highly educated, the chartered accountant. Ododo Ahmed Usman has learned from the best.
Nakapelo is the man. Ododo is the man. Moving Kogi forward. Ododo is the man. Tested and trusted. Nadima. Ododo Nadima. Lookful and faithful. Ahmed Usman. Ododo Nadima.
For Kogi's governor.
Vote Ododo Ahmed Usman. Vote APC.
This is Dr. Elizabeth Itunoyo Jackrich. I and my husband watched on TV the crisis in River State about the impeachment plan of the governor. I stand by my husband Jackrich, by appealing for calm and peace for the stability of River State. My concern is born out of the fact that families and children will suffer more hardship as businesses will lose confidence and investing where prices prevail. I also appeal to the elders of River State, our dear women and youth, to remain calm for the prosperity of the region. What River State needs now is to tap into President Tinubu's economic plan to create sustainable jobs for the people of River State. As a mother, an entrepreneur, and a philanthropist, I stand by my husband's peace talk to avert the looming crisis for the collective good of Nigeria. God bless River State, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thanks for staying with us here on Journalist Hangout. We've been talking about the issues, especially the upcoming off-cycle election, off-season election or off-cycle election in Imo, Kogi and Bayelsa. And I've been speaking with Dr. Oladipo and Tony Nwaje. Tony, let me carry on with you from where we left off before the break. One thing which we believe is that when we have security details, we have the security agents manning the elections, and then we also have the fact that we are also shutting down the economy, because experts have said, why do we need to shut down the economy of this state or of the nation because of elections? Why don't we copy from these advanced nations, because we are losing a lot of money in economic terms? What do you think? Do you think we have come of age to be able to do that?
We've come of age like 10 years ago. Why can't we? Is it the resources? Come of age, and Nigerians are advanced. Most of these technologies you're talking about are being pulled by Nigerians outside the country. So why can't we do it here? I think the reason is it's not far-fetched. It's because the present beneficiaries will lose when we go on that lane. Because technology, it's not something you can manipulate. And as we follow it up, you don't need to go queue. You can vote in your office. It's like a normal day. You can vote anywhere.
But where people go
Why can't we do it? No,
we just talked about the problems, with
technology.
Problems with technology. Some suspicions about BVAS and hacking and all of that. So if we are having to vote from home, do you not feel that this
it
might
will definitely
raise more
happen, just like
suspicions?
it's happening now. It can't be 100% correct. There will be hitches here and there. But let's just start. Let's start. The more we do it, the more we get it correct. Just like these beavers in IRF. We can do it. I know we can't do it because the present, beneficiaries cannot do it. They can't endorse it. They won't endorse it because it won't favor them. It's a simple answer. It won't favor them. Is it the resources? We have it. The manpower, we have it. You are talking about other clients. What are they doing that we don't? Why can't we do it?
Right. We actually, the information I had was that, we will be rounding off in a bit of a time. Very quickly, before we call it a wrap on the show, how much awareness do you think the Independent National Electoral Commission has done to be able to mobilize voters to come out? Because some of these off-season elections would tend to see voter apathy because they feel a lot of attention has always been on the national election, the general election. But so you feel some people, laid back when it comes to this.
Even the last general election, the turnout was poor. Quite poor.
The governorship here.
Yeah. The governorship, even the presidential
which is no,
election, it was poor.
But compared to others, I think it's better.
No, it's poor. It's going down.
Looking at the figures.
Yes, looking at the when you
I get
take it alongside the number of voters who have
PVC.
The PVC.
Yeah.
It's going down. And that, for me, says a lot.
Forget the fluff. These images are the real deal. And your healthcare reality in the confluent state. The All Progressives Congress, APC, walked into a healthcare sector that was on life support. But with a visionary leader like Governor Yahaya Adoza Bello, the situation didn't just call for intervention. It was time to shake up things, and he sure did, striving to put an end to medical tourism. Fast forward, and the story has changed. Now you have confidence in your state-owned hospitals, unrestricted access, professional healthcare managers, free services, and world-class medical facilities. And guess what? This transformation isn't stuck in one senatorial district. Don't let the naysayers pull the wool over your eyes. The projects are out there, and the people, oh, they are singing praises.
What you are seeing now is a brand new hospital. From all departments, they renovated, they upgraded, so many things in this place. It has improved our patient load. I can tell you that people come in from as far as Benue. People come in from Edo State, Auchi, to this place. People come in from Nsukka to access this place.
The doctors are trying, nurses are trying, everybody in this hospital, they are all trying.
I went to the eye clinic and I've been treated without wasting time.
With the Specialist Hospital Lokoja, College of Health Science and Technology, IDA, Prince Abu